we're headed north. We originally were gonna try to go all the way to Delaware City today, 75 miles. And pretty late yesterday evening, we decided, no, let's not bother trying to do that. That's almost 10 hours of cruising. And we don't want to miss the 4 p.m. captain's meeting and route briefing that they give for people continuing on to the Delaware Bay. And we'd have a chance of missing that if we tried to go all the way there today. So we're going to find an anchorage there about midway between here and there, 35, 40 miles or so, something like that. We've got several picked out, so we'll be underway here shortly.
Hi, we're Mark and Mel. After raising 4 amazing daughters who are now raising our 12 grandchildren and helping people on land in the real estate business for over 30 years, we're now realizing our goal of a year-long adventure cruising America's Great Loop on our boat Paradise. This is a 6,000-mile journey through waterways that include the Atlantic and Gulf Intercoastal Waterways, Great Lakes, Canadian Heritage Canals, and inland rivers of America's Midwest cities. Join us as we navigate over 100 locks, explore cities large and small, and experience an unforgettable journey through America's Great Loop.
We're about to go under the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. There's a tow going under it right now. The name of that tow is Captain Ted. Long bridge. Looks like some construction going on down at the other end. Unfortunately, we don't have a lens long enough on any of our cameras to really show this, but we are just outside of Baltimore. It's about 14 miles away from our track right now, and I'm aimed right at downtown Baltimore. And with the naked eye, it's hard to see, and you're not going to see it through this camera shot, but through the binoculars, we can clearly see the remnants or possibly the rebuilding of the Francis Scott Key Bridge that was unfortunately crashed into by that large ship a while back. And it's a sad situation, and we're not super close to it to really give you a good view of it, but we can definitely see the bridge. Well, it looks like actually new bridge span because it's very light in color compared to the part before it. On each end, you know, going up and just stopping and then continuing back down the other side. So that's it, Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, out there somewhere. Well, it's been a nice, pretty calm day, sunny, a little bit warm here on the Chesapeake Bay. We're in the northern part of the bay, north of Annapolis, where we stayed last night. And it's been pretty anticlimactic. A couple things that happened as we passed the Baltimore area, and we're kind of barely able to see with binoculars. We were about 15 miles away, but we saw the remnants of the bridge that was collapsed there by the large ship. And speaking of ships like that, we are about to pass, we're converging with a very large auto carrier out of Korea coming up here. And there it is right there. That ship, I'm not sure if that's focusing properly, is called the Glovis Sun. It's an auto carrier out of Korea, and we are going to be passing it in a relatively narrow channel, and it'll be interesting. So there is the Glovis Sun. We're going to be meeting him right at a turn in the channel here, and I'm going to swing wide to our starboard side to give him his berth. when we left Annapolis this morning around 7:30, we had intended to travel about halfway to Delaware City and get an anchorage, and there were several to choose from. And along the way, we started thinking, well, maybe we could go a little further. So we thought, well, let's go to Chesapeake City, which is right at the very beginning of the C and D Canal, a couple hours from Delaware City, and even skip Delaware City altogether, just pass it tomorrow on our way into the Delaware Bay. And as we got closer and closer to Chesapeake City, we changed our minds again, and we decided, you know, let's see if Delaware City can still accommodate us today. And so we called them, and they are. So it's now about 20 after 2, and we've got about 2 hours and 15 minutes left of additional cruising down the C and D Canal to get to Delaware City. But I believe we're just entering the canal now, and I can see the first of what I believe are 2 bridges that we're going to come to up ahead just now. Well, that's what the entrance or beginning of the C and D Canal looks like. The first bridge coming up. Both of the bridges that we are going to be going under, I believe, are very high like that, because very large ships can come down this canal.
Other loopers were already there, and they filled us in on the briefing that we missed. So it's another great day of weather, and we want to go as far as possible south on the Delaware Bay today. So we're not sure if we're going to be staying around Cape May, but we want to utilize the time with this great weather window to get out on the Atlantic and go as far as possible until we get to the Hudson. So let's see how far we go.
Well, we are out in the Delaware Bay, and it's a really calm day today. A little bit gloomy, some really dark skies behind us there. And we have encountered a few big ships. In fact, we're about to encounter probably the biggest one we've been this close to in a while. It's right there. That's the Chiquita Explorer container ship. I wonder if they're shipping bananas. I don't know. They're I'll figure out where they're out of and tell you in a second. There's that ship, the Chiquita Explorer. They're going about 20 knots, 20 miles an hour, about 17 knots. And we are just outside the channel, and I imagine we're going to have one heck of a wake here shortly. Well, the Chiquita Explorer there is a Liberian ship, and today it's traveling from Wilmington, Delaware, and I'm not sure where it's going to. Let me double check that. Port Everglades, Florida is where it's headed to. That's in the Fort Lauderdale area, I'm pretty sure. That's about 725 feet long, that ship right there. And the wake should be fun. Well, here's the latest ship we're passing in the Delaware Bay. This is the Peonia, an Italian ship. It's traveling from New York to Philadelphia today, and it's about 540 feet long. It is a tanker. Let me get a closer view of it here. The Peonia. It's getting a little bit rougher out here in the bay since we're out into bigger, more open water, but still pretty pleasant, all things considered. But we're about basically a little lighthouse. Just kind of out here in the middle, marking a shoal. Ooh, a little bit rough today, not too bad. Marking a shoal out there where it's pretty shallow. And a number of fishing boats in the area. I guess this is a good fishing spot as well. And meanwhile, over on this side, we are about to pass a very large ship. This one is one of the largest we've seen. It's the Maersk Monte Azul, 892 feet long. And it's traveling from New York to Philadelphia. It's flying a Singapore flag. And it's a big one. Azul, at 890 feet long, on its way to Philadelphia. Okay, we're just about to hit the wake of that Maersk 900-foot ship that just passed, and it's a good size wake. Woohoo! Whoa! Wow, that's one of the rougher ones we've hit. Good morning from Sunset Lake, great little anchorage here in Cape May, New Jersey, very southern end of New Jersey. Shared this anchorage last night with our fellow loopers on Stray Cat right there, and then that boat in the distance joined us later, didn't even see them come in. But today we are traveling outside in the Atlantic Ocean to Atlantic City, New Jersey. And the weather looks really good for that, so we're looking forward to a nice smooth ride outside, about 5 hours up to Atlantic City. Still en route to Atlantic City. We're out in the Atlantic off the New Jersey coast, and it's still pretty calm. We've got 2-foot waves. It's, the rolling is pretty gentle, but it started raining really hard, and it was a bit of an inopportune time because we're in an area where there is marked on the chart a fish trap area where we are possibly going to encounter some crab pots and that sort of thing. And obviously when it's raining, our visibility is decreased dramatically. Let's see if I can give you an idea of what it looks like out there. That's what I'm looking at right now. So I'm just watching directly in front of our bow as closely as I can to see any kind of a float or a crab pot down below. I have turned a little bit to starboard to try to get to the far eastern edge of the marked fish trap area, so hopefully that's accomplished that, and that'll prevent us from encountering any while the visibility is so low. A little eerie out here with this lack of visibility. We're about 4 miles offshore. Can't see any land or anything in any direction really right now.
In all honesty, I was so glad that we had good weather, and I just wanted to move on tomorrow after the night here and get into the Hudson as soon as possible. The weather's supposed to be good for a couple more days, so I'm hoping we make it up to the Statue of Liberty in 1 or 2 more nights. So we'll see how it goes next time.